Hello everyone. In this video, we will discuss mathematical analysis of non-recursive algorithms and mathematical analysis of recursive algorithms with some sample examples. Let us see what is the mathematical analysis of non-recursive algorithms. Then the general plan for analyzing time efficiency of non-recursive algorithms are: first one, check whether decide on a parameter or parameters indicating an input size of an algorithm. Next, identify the algorithm's basic operation. That is, basic operation is nothing but that takes more time to complete its execution. Then the third one is check whether the number of times the basic operation is executed depends only on the size of an input. If it also depends on some additional property like the worst case, average case and best case efficiencies have to be investigated separately. The fourth one is set up a sum expressing the number of times the algorithm's basic operation is executed. And the last step is using a standard formulas and rules of sum manipulation, either find a closed form formula for the count or at the very least establish its order of growth. Then here are some two well-known summation rules and formulas we are using for mathematical analysis of non-recursive algorithms. That is, the first one is called as the summation rules. The first summation rules is the summation of some constant of the term ai is from the lower bound L to upper bound U is defined or is expressed as take the constant away, that is constant of the summation of I equal to lower bound to the upper bound for the term ai. This is called as the rule 1. Similarly, another rule 1 is if the two expressions are there, ai plus bi, and on this expression ai plus bi, if we are applying summation from the lower bound L to the upper bound, like I equal to from L to U, then you have to expand it as the two separate summation expressions as make the summation of the term ai from the lower bound to the upper bound plus make the summation of the bi from lower bound to the upper bound, that is from L to the U. This is called as the summation rule 2. Then similarly, some formulas, the summation formulas we are using, well-known summation formulas we are using, like if we want to make a summation of the 1, that is from lower bound to upper bound, that is summation of 1 from lower bound to upper bound is defined as upper bound minus L minus lower bound L plus 1, where the lower bound is less than or equal to upper bound or some lower and upper integer limits. This is the summation formula 1. Similarly, another summation formula is from summation of from I is equal to 0 to n, that is from lowest value 0 to upper value n for the term I is defined as or is expressed as it is the sum of I is equal to 1 to n of I. Also for the summation of from 1 to n or summation from 0 to n or summation of 1 to n is represented as 1 plus 2 plus n equal to n into n plus 1 divided by 2 equal to 1 by 2 n square, and that belongs to big theta of n square. This is an efficiency class, or how we can define the series addition is represented as 1 by 2 n square, and this is called as the summation formula 2. And these are the 4 basic summation rules and summation formulas most widely we are using whenever it comes to an mathematical analysis of non-recursive algorithms. Now let us see one example, and on this example you have to perform mathematical analysis, and this is a non-recursive algorithm to check whether all the elements in the given array are unique or not. This is called as element uniqueness problem. Then here in this element uniqueness problem, you have to determine whether all the elements in the given array are distinct or not, and the input for this algorithm is an array with the input size as n, and its output returns true if all the elements in the array are distinct, otherwise returns value as a false. This is an input or output for this algorithm. Let us start with this algorithm as algorithm name as a unique element and input as the array from 0 to n minus 1, and its simple code is for I is equal to 0 to n minus 2 do, and for j equal to I plus 1 to n minus 1 do if a of I equal to a of j. that is if any one of the element is identical to other element in the given array, then you have to return as a false. Otherwise no elements are after this comparison. If the no elements are identical, no array elements are identical, finally you have to return value as the true. This is a simple code for element uniqueness problem. Then as per the steps we have followed in the mathematical analysis of non-recursive algorithm, then first you have to identify the input size of this given example or the algorithm. Here the n is the input size for this algorithm and n represents number of elements in the given array. Then the next you have to identify what is the basic operation we are using in this algorithm, and the basic operation in this algorithm, in this element uniqueness algorithm, is a comparison. That is, if a of I equal to a of j, we have to compare one element with all the elements in the given array and check whether they are distinct or identical. That's why the basic operation is the comparison. And also we are using two for loops. For a comparison we are using two for loops in this algorithm. Then according to this you have to design the summation rules. You have to apply the summation rules and formulas as per your coding or the instructions you are included in this algorithm. Then here we can realize that for every iteration of, for the every value of j, the basic operation will be executed once. That's why the comparison is executed once. That's why we can put here value as the 1, and we can make a summation formula here from j is equal to I plus 1 to n minus, from the lowest value I is equal to I plus 1 to the upper bound as n minus 1. Then also similarly for the every j value, for every I value, the j value will be executed once. That's how we can make the outer summation value as from I is equal to 0 to n minus 2. This is how we can put the summation formulas, and the 1 represents the basic operation will be executed only once. Then here now we have to apply the summation formula for this one, for a 1, and from using the previous summation formulas, like this one, if the summation value is 1, then you have to use upper bound minus lower bound plus 1. By using this technique you have to apply these formulas, that is n minus 1 minus I plus 1 plus 1, and you will get the value as n minus 1 minus I, and this outer summation remains as it is, as I is equal to 0 to n minus 2. Then here you have to again further expand this n minus 1, and you have to expand it as minus I. You have to expand by using the rules, by using the summation rules. Then you will get the value as n minus 1, and by expanding this one you will get n minus 2 divided by 2. Then next you have to further expand and further apply the summation rules and formulas. You will get n minus 2 square minus n minus 2, and that is equal to n minus 1 into n by 2, and it is approximately equal to n square by 2, and that belongs to n square. This is how you can calculate the time complexity for the element uniqueness problem, by applying the summation rules and by using summation formulas. The next we can discuss another example, and we can apply the mathematical analysis on this example called as matrix multiplication. Then here the inputs are two matrices, two n by n matrices. Make the multiplication of two n by n matrices and you will get the resultant matrices. Then here is an algorithm matrix multiplication. Inputs are two n by n matrices as A, matrix A and matrix B. Make the multiplication of n by n matrices and stored result into an resultant matrix C. That's why inputs are two n by n matrices A and B, and output is the resultant matrix C equal to A into B. Then this is then a basic code for matrix multiplication, that is for I is equal to 0 to n minus 1 do, for j is equal to 0 to n minus 1 do, C of ij equal to 0 initialize. Then for k is equal to 0 to n minus 1 do, the resultant matrix C of ij is equal to C of ij plus A of ik into B of kj, and finally return the resultant matrix as a C. Then here also first you have to identify what is the basic operation for matrix multiplication. Then this expression is called as the basic operation for matrix multiplication as the C of ij is equal to C of ij plus A of ik into B of kj. This expression is called as the basic operation because that is placed at the innermost level, at the innermost loop in this algorithm, that innermost loop is for k is equal to 0 to n minus 1 do, and that's why this is executed most repeatedly in this algorithm, and this is called as the basic operation for matrix this is called as the basic operation for matrix multiplication. Then now we have to set the formula using mathematical analysis and with the help of summation formulas, with the help of summation rules and summation formulas. Then you have to check here, this statement will be executed once, the C of ij, it will be executed once for the innermost loop k. That's why you have to write it as k is equal to 0 to n minus 1, and the statement will be executed once. Then similarly this statement will be executed once for loop j, and also it will be executed once for the for loop I. Because of this we can write the total number of multiplications required to complete the matrix multiplication is m of n, that is basic operation is the multiplication, and the number of total multiplications required m of n equal to the summation of I is equal to 0 to n minus 1 into summation of j is equal to 0 to n minus 1 into summation of k is equal to 0 to n minus 1 and 1. This is an expression to count the total number of multiplications are required to complete the matrix multiplication. Then now we have to simplify this by using standard formulas, standard summation rules and formulas, and you will get the expression like this. Then first I have to sort out the innermost loop k is equal to 0 with n, and you will get the value as the n. Then next you have to find out the next innermost loop as the j, and finally you have to find out the outermost loop as the I, and you will get the value as the n cube, and n cube is the time complexity for matrix multiplication. In next point we can discuss the mathematical analysis of recursive algorithms with examples. Then as you all know that recursive algorithms are functions that calls itself again and again, and let us see here what is the general plan for analyzing time efficiency of non-recursive algorithms. The first parameter is decide on a parameter or a parameters indicating an input size. Again the second step is identify the algorithm's basic operation. The third one is check whether the number of times the basic operation is executed can vary on different inputs of the same size, or if it can, the worst case, average case and best case efficiency must be investigated separately. Then the fourth step is set up a recurrence relation with an appropriate initial condition for number of times the basic operation is executed, and finally solve the recurrence or at least ascertain the order of growth of its solution. These are the steps you have to follow for mathematical analysis of recursive algorithms. Then let us see one example. Of recursive algorithm called as Tower of Hanoi example. Then the Tower of Hanoi example is nothing but you have given a tower with n number of disks, and all the disks are arranged in a ascending order. All the disks are arranged in a ascending order, that is the topmost disk having the lowest weight compared to the next level disk, as shown in this diagram. All are arranged into an ascending order where the topmost disk has the lowest weight compared to the next disk. Then here you have, in this problem you have to move all the disks from one tower to another tower called as from source to destination, and the conditions are you have to move one disk at a time, and another condition is that you are not supposed to place any disk having highest weight on the lowest weight disk. This is the condition you have to follow. Then here to perform this we are using one more intermediate disk or intermediate tower as shown in this diagram, and every time you have to move one disk at a time. This is the problem statement, and this is widely used for explaining the concept of recursive algorithms. Then here the recursive solution to this Tower of Hanoi puzzle is explained in this diagram. Next you have to identify what is the basic operation in this tower of Hanoi example. Then the basic operation in this tower of Hanoi example is the moving one disk at a time is a basic operation in this tower of Hanoi, that we can simply represent it as moving one disk at a time is a basic operation in this tower of Hanoi example. Then because of this, or according to this basic operation, you have to set the recurrence relation for the number of moves, how many moves are required to completely move all the disk from the source tower to destination tower, by using the recurrence formula as the only one move is required, m of 1 is required if the only disk is available, or the number of disks n is equal to 1, then only one move is required. And if the number of disks are greater than 1, the n represent number of disks and it is the input for tower of Hanoi. If the number of disks are, or number of disk n is greater than 1, then this is the recurrence formula as number of moves required m of n equal to 2 into m of n minus 1 plus 1. This much moves are required to complete, or this much moves are required to completely move all the disk from source to destination tower. This is the recurrence formula. Once you get the recurrence formula as m of n equal to 2m n minus 1 plus 1 if the number of disk n is greater than 1, and the number of moves m of 1 is equal to 1 if the disk is number of disks is exactly 1. These are the recurrence formulas. Now you have to solve this recurrence formula by using method called as the backward substitution method. Then by solving this backward substitution method, you will get the exact time complexity, how much time it takes to move all the disk from source to destination tower. Then now solve this recurrence formula using backward substitution method, that is m of n is equal to 2m n minus 1 plus 1 for all the n value greater than equal to 1. Then here in this you have to substitute for m of n minus 1, you have to substitute m of n minus 2 is equal to 2m n minus 2 plus 1. By using backward substitution method, now for the place of m n minus 1, you have to substitute 2m n minus 2 plus 1, and you simplify, you will get the value after this one 2 into 2m n minus 2 plus 1 after substituting using backward substitution method and simplifying it, you will get the values as 2 raised to 2 m into n minus 2 plus 2 plus 1. Again you have to substitute in place of m of n minus 2, you have to substitute 2m n minus 3 plus 1. You will get the pattern as 2 raised to 2 2m n minus 3 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 equal to 2 raised to 3 m n minus 3 plus 2 square plus 2 plus 1. By simplifying the substitute method, you will get the pattern like this, as m of n, number of moves, is equal to 2 raised to I into m of n minus I plus 2 into I minus 1 plus 2 into I minus 2, and finally you will get this pattern as 2 raised to I into m of n minus I plus 2 I minus 1. Then since the initial condition is specified for n is equal to 1, that is the terminating condition, when the number of moves becomes 1, then it takes only one move, which is achieved for I is equal to n minus 1. Then to get the formula for the solution to recurrence formula 2.3, you will get number of moves m of n equal to 2 raised to n minus 1 m into n minus 1 equal to 2 raised to n minus 1 minus 1, and after substituting it one, you will get the value as, by simplifying and substituting, you will get the value as 2n minus 1. This is the time complexity for Tower of Hanoi example, using recursive algorithm to move all the disk from one tower to another tower.